Welcome back to Crown's Crypto Cave and the power of Goat Jesus behind me once again as I wish everyone a happy Wednesday morning. Hey, it's hump day. Hey, have a hump in your life. No, have a Wednesday in your life. And I hope that this little morning technical analysis sets you right. For some shorter term trade ideas, a little bit of a fall through from yesterday, as well as we talked about some slightly longer term ideas as well. So you know what, without further ado, let's get right into it over here. And we have closed a new 2-day and 3-day dildo over here. And with the 2-day, you'll notice that on Finex, on an exchange like Finex, which is a USDT exchange, a Tether exchange, you do have different price action than the dollar exchanges. So I am reverting to the dollar exchanges because they seem to agree with each other more, and it makes more sense, especially when you're talking about an asset that does not float around constantly like Tether, which is actually almost 1 cent below where it's 1 cent below parity. Actually, if I could just show that really quick, typically speaking, oh wow, it's more than 1 cent below now. Holy shit. So typically speaking, it's usually about $1. So at least you try to get it around $1. Now it's literally almost 1.5 cent below parity right now. So that does make the Tether exchanges kind of off. Their kind of inputs are off, and you'll notice that by Finex trading about 6,600, whereas something like Stamp, GDAX, and BitMexico are trading around 6540-ish area. So anyways, I'm going to go over here to Stamp for this. Now, this is a 2-day over here, and we closed this last 2-day dildo below the 21 exponential. That's a very big deal to me, as we've just been closing all of them below for the last couple weeks, actually. Starting all the way over here with the 2-day dildo death cross right over here. Now I do want to point something out with 2014. I know 2014, blah 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 blah, but we did have the 2-day dildo death cross right over here in 2014. It took about a month and a half from this date, the actual cross, to the actual dildo downfall over here. The dildo downfall, a very nasty thing that you can find on also RedTube. But you'll notice that Bitcoin was tightening up this range very, very tight, just like we are in current times. So I want to offer this up as a time component, which is not something that I typically believe in, but I do just want to show a prior example of, hey, this can take a while, can wear people out for a long time. And then 2, price action was in a very tight range as well. If we kind of measure out this last hurrah over here, it was about 4.5% moves. Compare that with what Bitcoin's been doing over here. It looks pretty damn similar. So I'm gonna guess, yeah, it's about 3.5% over here, and a little bit more if I do include this action over here. So as Bitcoin does get ground down along this 21 exponential, I'll become more and more bearish. However, again, until the big area that we've been looking at, let me get my fresh chart over here, the 6150 area, I believe it is, somewhere right around here. Yep, this guy right there. Until this area is taken out right here, I want to be very adamant about this. I don't want to entertain like super downfall ideas, into the 5,000s, into the 4,000s. However, if 6150 does break, then yes, that's where I do believe it's very likely that you will see those numbers. Even though you do have support along the way, you'll have 5,800. You're prior low over here because you got to buy a prior low, because that's just what you're supposed to fucking do. It's a double bottom, except when it's a fucking like 10th bottom in a row, a doctor bottom, or whatever the fuck they call it. Someone sent me I think it was, who was it, man? Someone sent me a full on like expose on all of the different bottoms that you can have. But goddamn, man, I'm done with these derrieres. Over here you got the smaller descending triangle that we've been looking at. Bitcoin basically just wicking up and testing it the other day. Depends how you want to draw this. You can see right here, I'm drawing it on the daily. It's not necessarily the most prudent way of doing it. I could do it with a more increased angle, but you never got the breakout either which way. So everyone was talking about the goddamn breakout the last couple days. Crypto hedge, fucking Superman, fucking I don't know, whoever. There's a billion of them. Probably Coin Master. Just call out random names. Shark guys, they were in there too. Philicone's guilty. Eric Cho is probably guilty as well, because him and Philicone are like basically the same person. That's not a racist thing to say. It's just it's not about their looks, okay? About their analysis. It's about their looks. Anyways, so still living within this confines of this area right here in the smaller descending triangle. If we do go into the lower time frames, we can certainly plot out the exact same supports and resistances, although you'll notice that Bitcoin is right once again on its more preliminary support. This is not a major support, neither. This is not a major support area. So if Bitcoin does break it, it's not like a all hell breaks loose scenario. If you were to break that area, the next kind of area that I believe you'd find your Bitcoins at would be somewhere right around here, right around 64.50. And if that were to break, then I believe you'd be finding yourself somewhere around like 63.75 next support, which would also align with kind of the bottom support of this broadening wedge-ish support area, or if you want to call it a bear flag, you can call it a fucking bear flag. I don't care what people call it. But again, if you do break this area right here, then yeah, I believe that you will be given a formal test, a formal kiss to the 61.50-ish area, which again is that humongous area in my mind. As long as you're above there, I don't want to get too damn bearish. But the second that you break there, I want to get very bearish, because you could say that this is a bear flag. I know it's not perfect. You could also do a measure move for a broadening wedge, but if you were to do the measure move for a bear flag and you apply that to the breakdown zone, well, where would that put you? Somewhere right around here. I'm making major assumptions over here, but that would be pointing you all the way down towards this area right here, right around about 5,200 now, which does make sense. Remember, it is rising over time, but you would have a nice horizontal here from your past prior action. And that would kind of help fill in the volume gap. I do want to talk about this really quick as well. The accumulation distribution indicator, the daily's got another tick, a new tick, and it's down. It's sloped down. So again, I only care about the slope on this indicator, and the fact that it's sloped down right now is not a sign of strength. It's actually telling you that this action over here is losing momentum, just like the daily stochastics, which are losing momentum as well. They are hinting at another cross again. It is not confirmed. If Bitcoin can rally it up from here, then that would look a lot better. But here's the thing, when you look at the 2-day and you put all the pieces together, you say, hey, 2 days a rejection of the yellow 21 exponential with a nice long wick to the upside, and then fall through to the downside on today's 2-day dildo. Now, all of this is very low volume action, so to me, it's still just consolidation, but when it comes down to it, it does look to me like Bitcoin probably does want to come further down, barring any sort of major rally before the end of this next 2-day dildo, which will end tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you look at the 3-day over here, same sort of thing. Living under the 21 exponential for an even longer time, and just kind of basing between the 200 exponential and the 21 exponential. This is not something that I'd want to buy. So if we go over to the weekly, I do want to check out the weekly really quick. When I put on the 10 simple moving average, I just want to see where that is in relation to price action. Yes, indeed, the 10 simple moving average still providing resistance. So a lot of things going on right here. A lot of areas kind of coming into the same agreement as Bitcoin does kind of make its decide. I believe it'll be decided very soon if we're going to have it a final descent or not. Still, you got the yellow 21 exponential cross on the downside of the green 55. Never a good sign, especially when we go over here to the only other example in Bitcoin's almost 10-year history. Right over here, very similar with the 10 simple moving average, which was actually supporting price, but you can see over in 2018 it is resisting price, which would imply to me that this is actually weaker in comparison. Not that you should really compare, historical analysis to each other, like for a 1-to-1 dildo, but if you do have, lower periods trading below higher periods, well, that would suggest that you're kind of wrecked. So anyways, back now over to the daily once again. The daily, by the way, has a 10 simple moving average trading below the yellow 21 exponential moving average. It is very tight, so it certainly can, be pulled back in if Bitcoin were to kind of rally back above. But that is one of those strategies that I have shared publicly in the technical analysis tools section of this channel. So definitely go check that out. But I really want to see it start to gain some more momentum. As you can see, when you consolidate like this, it's going to give you a lot of false signals. Before that, it's been pretty fucking good. Calling you short right there, calling you short right there, calling you short all the way over there, and not like getting it all the way down here. Fucking beautiful, man. And don't call me short, you fuck. Anyways, so going back into the 4-hour over here for GDAX. It is a little bit annoying because the actual ranges have not really changed. Even though everyone was getting extremely excited about this dildo over here, guys, we're going to 6,900 because that's a nice fucking $50 range, which is still very possible. You still very well could, pop back up into that range, but I need to see a few things happen. I need to see kind of pop back above this guy right here, take out this resistance right here, and then yeah, I wouldn't see much stopping from about 6,900. It would be a nice horizontal from this price action right over here, and also And also, if we were to put on the 2-day dildo chart, your 2-day dildo, 55 exponential and 200 exponential coming into that range as well. So I do like that if Bitcoin were to have a pop above this region, which I think is becoming less and less likely, to be honest. If Bitcoin is gonna play out some major downside, it's, you know, a lot of the time you will get one of those moves, one of those massive fake out moves to get everyone, you know, on board with being long and just aggressively long, and then you fucking shove some red dildos in their face, and then that's all well and good. But let's see how the longs are doing right now. We have about 28,000 longs, so we did gain about 3,000 longs a couple days ago. Still hanging it high, but have shuck a few of them, about 1,000 of them. 28,000 not really high for the longs, not really putting too many people under pressure, although 28,000 longs is certainly, you know, you don't really want 28,000 longs when you're below 7,000. Shorts, on the other hand, are very high. Anything above this horizontal right here at about 30,000 I consider high. Can certainly get higher. It's gotten to about 40,000 before. But this is what does make me think. This is what does make me think that you know, if Bitcoin were to play out some pretty massive downside, I'm not sure it like how easy it would be to get down into like the 3,000s or 4,000s, just because everyone's so like short happy or long happy with a $50 move that it makes moving price pretty difficult, because you're gonna have the potential to squeeze, and this is certainly a potential to squeeze over here. That would be my biggest counterpoint to a big bear move relatively soon. Let's go check out GBTC. I'm curious where he closed at 772, closing a little bit down, but you know, you did close kind of a spinning top in a way. Did you trade above the high? No, you did not. So technically it's not. It's probably just consolidation area-ish dildo. But again, until GBTC starts closing some dildos above $8 even, then I don't really want to talk about potential reversal. Still being held by the 21 exponential. Decent reaction off this guy down here that we had plotted in. But again, it's just that until we get actual confirmation. Let's see. What else can we look at? Should we look at the BBWs? All right, you want to check out the BBWs? You don't need to go to RedTube today. You just come here to Crown's Crypto Cave, and we can watch the BBWs together. Isn't that a fun thing when you were young and just getting into all of this new information? It's like, what is this BBW, friend? I don't know. But I'll leave that one there. All right. Anyways, let's go over here to an exchange that has a little bit more price action history. Here's a 2-day dildo chart. We're using the BB dubs. This is just measuring the width of the Bollinger Bands. It's taken a nosedive over here, even though we have gotten another $50 move. Wow, much wow. But again, you know, it's still hanging pretty damn low, getting lower as time chugs along. And this would suggest that we pretty much are, you know, there's only like one division lower, basically. But anytime that you do get into this range right here, it basically V bottoms out, typically speaking. That would be suggesting that, hey, you know, if we did spend like another, I don't know, like a week or two kind of in this range, then yeah, you're probably going to have some explosive movement either which way. So again, a lot of things kind of coming up, a lot of things kind of agreeing with each other, a lot of things essentially forewarning, so to say. It is 10:10, so I do apologize to all the Economist readers out there, because it's, while you might have your one world currency, you know, use case does not, you know, people have this weird idea that they think like if something gets adopted that its price just goes crazily up. That's not necessarily always true. You can think of certainly plenty of other examples, but when it comes down to it, like, technology gets cheaper over time. Although, you know, this is a little bit of a different scenario over here, and I do understand that Bitcoin does have fundamental reasons why the price would actually go up if it did get adopted, and I do understand that. You know, it's a scarce resource, fucking obviously. But I'm talking about like for other cryptos, so which are not necessarily like a, you know, a store of value, but more of like a fun token. You know, fun tokens are great, man, but Chuck E. Cheese is not that cool, and unfortunately, it's going out of style. Here we got the daily over here. Bitcoin's actually basing on the 30 simple moving average right now, funnily enough, or perhaps not funnily enough. It did get slightly upslope for a little while, but the fact that we've come back down, it's probably going to flatten out once again. In order to get price action really going, we need a slope like this, and we're just not really getting it. Just kind of snaking its way around in more recent times. So again, just wanted to point that out. But I'm going to wrap it up here with the most important things to be aware of. Again, the range is basically the same. 65, 35 support, 66, 20-ish resistance on GDAX, which would be most likely all of the U.S. Dollar exchanges. Big support on this formation right here, whatever you want to call it, a flag or a broad new wedge, right around 64.40. If you break that, then things get a little bit more interesting. And then obviously your big resistance right here at about 66. Let's call it 66.50. If you can break above that, I don't see really much stopping you from this next level at 67.50, right around here if that were to happen. But then you got another fucking $50 range. So great, awesome, good. Get rich on your $50 range. If you break above there, then yeah, 69.50, 7,000-ish area would kind of make sense. Above there, things could get a little bit more interesting as you do still have the bigger descending triangle to deal with, which would officially be coming in probably somewhere right around here, like 71, 7,200. So that's going to do it for this morning. I hope this video finds you well. And let's do Ethereum really quick. Yeah, let's just do Ethereum really quick. Why not? Why fucking not? Ethereum is looking a little bit less healthy to me, as if you are representing this as some sort of a symmetrical triangle right here, you'll notice that the symmetrical triangle is hinting at a breakdown right here, right now. So this could be the canary in the coal mine, as has been with more recent price action. If I make it a little bit, man, which one do you use? Which dildo do you prefer? This one or that one? Let's redraw it for the 4 hour. Yeah, so the 4 hour looks like it does want to kind of break down, or perhaps it already did. Yeah, but again, it's, you know, we need to see a dildo close fully under it, and I want to see it on heavy volume too. We don't necessarily have either of those. So again, I'd say perhaps the best way to be representing this is the way that I was representing it in the first place, which apparently everyone. Well, has this one broken down? Because you broke down this rising wedge to the downside. Now you've been using it as resistance, as you can see over here, and just kind of like floating along in a bear flag is what it looks like to me. I think this would really be my first interpretation. Something like this over here. Whoops, let's get that right and get that right, and there you go. But again, still not necessarily broken down just yet. Although hinting at a breakdown pretty damn soon. If you do break 225 and close a 4 hour dildo below there on heavy volume, that would be my that would be what I'm looking for. By the same token, you know, if you were to kind of pick it back up, this upper resistance right here at your 200 exponential at 234 would be my next big resistance. Above there, you got 236.5. and like 248. All right, so that's going to do it for this morning's video. I hope this one finds you well, and I'll be back in a live stream near you soon. Take care.